we have to be careful not to have 50 different states hyper-regulating AI because it has national security implications, right? If some of the deep blue states smother it with regulation as they're prone to do, then it might hamper our development and it could put us in a compromised position against our enemies, China and others.
You just heard what Mike Johnson said. You don't want 50 states regulating their own AI. That opens the can of worms up to Democrats who will overregulate. You see it differently.
Here's the issue. If we tie our states' hands for 10 years, we have no idea what AI will do. And the biggest fear is you look at the economy, AI is going to replace jobs from all kinds of sectors. And if AI replaces these jobs and states are not able to regulate and make laws to protect their citizens, human jobs, we're going to see poverty on a level we've never seen before. Unemployment will be out the roof, and it will destroy our economy.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Marge, the train wreck Greene, just turned on Donald Trump. And it's not out of principle, it's out of panic.
Are you willing to take this to the mat and blow up President Trump's agenda over it?
I will never blow up President Trump's agenda because I campaigned more than any other member of Congress for years by his side all over this country. I defended President Trump when a lot of my colleagues walked away and turned their back on him. So I'm for President Trump's agenda. However, President Trump never campaigned on destroying state rights. He never campaigned saying he wanted to be like China, which would tie his citizens in states' hands.
Here's a lesson for us all. No matter what political party holds office and is in charge, we should all watch carefully the bills that we pass, and we should be mindful about protecting not only state rights, but the rights of the American people, and look to the future. I urge all of my colleagues that when the House gets to vote on the One Big Beautiful Bill again after it leaves the Senate, that we make sure we protect federalism and at the same time urge our colleagues in the Senate to pull this clause out of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
What basically happened was that she voted to gut her own state's rights, raise her voters' rent, and unleash AI on working class Georgians. Now she's pointing fingers, trying to blame everyone else, and it's blowing up in her face like an exploding cigar. Yes, Marge, the train wreck Greene's district is furious. And why, you may ask? The Big Beautiful Bill.
Now, while this bill was going through committees and being discussed in the House of Representatives, no one on either side of the aisle that I know of, Republican or Democrat, brought up this particular clause on one single page in a over 1,000-page bill. And I want to bring this up because I think AI is incredibly important. I support AI in many different faculties. However, I think that at this time, as our generation is very much responsible, not only here in Congress, but leaders in tech industry and leaders in states and all around the world have an incredible responsibility of the future and development, regulation, and laws of AI. It's such an important responsibility. It literally affects our children and grandchildren's future. So I take this responsibility incredibly sincere, so much so that this past week I have come out in full transparency and said, when I voted for the One Big Beautiful Bill, I didn't know about this clause.
Marge voted for it, the very bill that could replace her own constituents' manufacturing jobs. She voted to raise their rent and slash their benefits and cut their jobs. And now she's panicking because she got caught. This is the same Marge the train wreck Greene who screams freedom and states' rights at nearly every sitting. Now she's flipping on her orange Lord and Savior like a rat on a sinking ship.
So what do you make of what Elon Musk said today? Because he said, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. What would you say to Elon Musk?
Well, you know, I very much support Elon, and I have supported DOGE. As a matter of fact, I chair the DOGE subcommittee on oversight, and I would like to be voting on every single DOGE cut there is, along with cutting spending. And I would say that only 5 months of working at DOGE in the government isn't enough time to fix those problems.
Republicans in her own state are outraged. Her voters, They're pissed. And the AI provision that she helped sneak through just exposed her for the fraud that she is. She sold out her own people, and now she's trying to pin the fallout on the very man she worships with the side of blaming Joe Biden. Typical behavior, trying to play the victim and the hero at the same time. Marge wants you to believe that she's standing up to Donald Trump now, that she's bravely defending states' rights. But let's be clear, this isn't Marge being a maverick. It's re-election damage control. She voted for the big, beautiful bill. She didn't read the damn thing. And now that the fallout is hitting her district, potential rising rents, job losses, benefits slashed, she's scrambling to rewrite history faster than ChatGPT on steroids. Her face said it all when she got confronted with the facts. She was smirking at Maria Bartiromo like she had just eaten a shit sandwich and had to pretend it tasted good. Claims she supports Elon Musk, brags about chairing the Doge Oversight Subcommittee like it's a real thing, and tries to act like she had nothing to do with the AI provision now gutting her district. She's the arsonist yelling fire. And worse, she's trying to blame the man she built her entire political career worshiping. What a flaming contradiction.
On Musk, he said, shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong, you know it. He doesn't specifically say you, but you did vote for it. Why do you think he's doing this now? And do you take issue at Musk calling out folks like yourself?
You know, I take no issue with anyone calling out the government. I think the American people, including Elon Musk, have the right to do that every single day. As a matter of fact, I wish they would come to Washington and call out this government a lot more.
First, Marge says she supports Elon Musk and claims to work closely with him. Girl, please. Elon doesn't even text you back. You're not in the Billionaire Boys Club. You're the unpaid intern bringing snacks to a meeting you weren't even invited to. Then she insists that Donald Trump never campaigned on destroying states' rights, and yet she voted for the bill that does exactly that. Georgia now can't regulate AI for 10 years. That's the ballgame. So which is it, Marge? Are you loyal to your state or your cult leader? She even tries to sound the alarm on AI taking jobs, like she just discovered the internet yesterday. Marge, you voted for this. This is like lighting your neighbor's house on fire and then calling 911, pretending to be shocked. And let's not forget the line about how she campaigned harder for Trump than anyone else. That's not the badge of honor that she thinks it is. It's a neon sign that says, I hitched my career to a man who blew up the party. This isn't leadership. It's not courage. It's not conviction. It's panic. And now her district is waking up. She raised their rent, voted to gut their benefits, and handed over job-killing powers to the AI overlords. And now she wants to blame Trump, while still trying to stay on his good side. She's not standing up. She's flailing, and everyone sees it. Marge the Trainwreck Greene is throwing elbows, dodging accountability, and trying to spin her betrayal into some kind of hero act. But the facts, they're brutal. When asked by Maria Bartiromo, Marge looked straight into the camera and said she supports Elon Musk. Well, if you think about that, and you think of it like that, canker sores support STDs. It's a symptom, Marge, not a compliment. But you two go together like bad decisions and regret. She stood with Musk and Trump not to protect the people in her district, but to protect the gravy train that she thought she could catch a ride on. Meanwhile, Musk and Peter Thiel are looking at getting sweetheart deals, zero regulation, and a 10-year free pass to do whatever they want in Georgia and beyond. So no, Marge isn't standing up to billionaires. She's carrying their water. States' rights, except when it's in Georgia. Buried inside Donald Trump's one big beautiful bill is a 10-year federal preemption on state-level AI regulations. That means Georgia and every other state is banned from passing their own protections, limits, or accountability measures on AI. 10 years. That's longer than most wars. What happens in 10 years? Nurses replaced with bots, warehouse workers phased out, customer service taken over by chat systems, education jobs lost to adaptive software, and Georgia lawmakers can't do a damn thing about it because Marge the Trainwreck Greene voted to tie their hands. So spare us the freedom talk. She voted for corporate control and regulatory paralysis, all while waving a flag and hollering about liberty. When Bartiromo asked Marge about the fallout, what did she do? She launched into a bizarre rant about Antifa, cartels, and illegal aliens. Not the cartel members that brought their way into this country thanks to Donald Trump selling immigration perks. She's trying to distract you, scare you, herd your outrage away from her betrayal, and aim it at immigrants because fear is the only trick she has left. But here's what her own constituents are really afraid of: losing their jobs to AI, rent going up because of deregulated housing policies, medical benefits being gutted after she voted to slash them. They're not afraid of some caravan in a Fox News graphic. They're afraid because their representatives lied to them. Her district is furious, and they have every right to be. This isn't leadership. It's cleanup duty. It's the political equivalent of trying to shove toothpaste back in the tube. She's been exposed. She knows it. And the only thing she's fighting for right now is her own seat so she can keep doing it. And if you needed one final bit of proof that Marge the Trainwreck Greene is flipping harder than a tech bro on ketamine, look no further than her new crusade against the very bill that she helped pass. She's out there now pretending to be some kind of Paul Revere for states' rights, shouting about tyranny and central control while conveniently ignoring that she's the one who just helped tie her own state's hands for a decade. The so-called freedom fighter literally voted to gag her own state and hand the keys to billionaires like Elon Musk, and then turned around and started blaming everyone but herself when the backlash hit. So now we've got Marge gaslighting her own base, claiming the AI takeover is somehow Biden's fault, even though she voted for the damn thing. And the voters back home, they're not buying it because they see what's really happening. Rent is probably going up, benefits are most likely being slashed, and jobs are being handed over to algorithms. And every one of those disasters has Marge's signature on it. This is panic mode. You can see it in her interviews, the stuttering, the deflections, the frantic finger pointing. It's not me, it's Biden. It's not me, it's the Democrats. It's not me, it's Trump. Marge, who has built her entire brand worshiping Trump like he's the second coming of a gold-plated Jesus, is now blaming him for the mess that she helped make. She's the arsonist trying to blame the guy who loaned her the match. And that's what this whole meltdown is about. It's not about principle. It's not about policy. It's about getting caught. It's about realizing that the people she screwed over are finally waking up. And now she's stuck, flailing, gaslighting, and betraying everyone from Trump to her own voters just to save her own ass. So let's bring this back. Marge the Trainwreck Greene voted to gut her own state's rights, raise her voters' rents, and unleash AI on working-class Georgians. Now she's pointing fingers and pretending to be the hero of the battle she helped start. But nobody's buying it. Not her colleagues, not her constituents, not the American people. She's exposed. She's panicking. And come Election Day, let's hope that she's toast. And that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.